everybody, and welcome back to another video. So I know right now life is just super crazy and most of us have had to transfer from public and private school to online school or homeschool, and I know that's definitely different than what we're used to. So today I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks so that way you guys can get used to it. You can be like more productive when you're doing it, because I know, at least for me, when I first started doing online school, it was super easy to procrastinate because usually our homes are where we just like relax, and now that we're having to do school at home, it's a bit different. So I hope this video is helpful, and without further ado, let's just get straight on to the video. Okay, so I'm going to split this video up into like sections, I guess, and the first section is tips for before you start school. For me personally, I'm very used to having a schedule in school, whether that be waking up in the morning, heading to my classes, or just lunchtime in general. I'm so used to sticking to a schedule, and I think it's really important that we stick to a schedule now too, because if we're just giving ourselves so much free time, it just doesn't work. Having a schedule gives you time to procrastinate. I don't even know if that makes sense, but say you schedule out your day and you know you have to do class from this time to this time, you're more likely to get it done and get it done faster. But if you just say, oh, I have these two things to do today, you're probably going to wait till the last possible minute to do it at the very end of the day, because you don't really have a set time when you're going to do that. So I think having a schedule is literally so important. But make sure when you schedule things to schedule things to look forward to, because if you wake up in the morning and look at your schedule and all you have scheduled for yourself is school and things to do, then you're just going to be like, why even try? I have so much to do, and you'll just give up and procrastinate. Trust me, I know from experience. So make sure you just plan something in the week or in your day to look forward to, so that way you don't get burnt out. Some ideas for this is have a spa night or day, have a movie marathon, and another thing is you can just FaceTime with your friends. I recently found this app called Bunch, and basically you can FaceTime your friends while playing games together, and they have a bunch of different games you can play, and literally this game sounds so fun. So if you have a bunch of friends who are bored as well, you guys can set up a little FaceTime and you can play on that app. Tip number 2 is to have a good morning and night routine. I think that during the school year, or during when we're usually at school, we'll have like a specific time to go to bed, a specific time to wake up, and so it's more organized. But now most of us are probably staying up super late, waking up super late, and you're just not as productive and organized as you used to be. So I think it's something really important for us is to have a set morning and night routine. It's actually proven that sleeping in and staying in bed for like the first 3 hours of the day makes your body think, today's a day I get to be unproductive and I get to be lazy. So I think it's just a super good thing to like wake up in the morning and get out of bed as soon as you can. Another thing that I think people are definitely putting aside and is to get ready whether you have a Zoom or not. For the first 1 or 2 weeks of online school, I would not get ready the days I don't have a Zoom, and then days I had Zooms with my class, I would just get ready. And honestly, the days I didn't get ready, I just didn't feel productive, because you getting ready tells yourself, today I'm working. So it's just really helpful. And one tip I heard someone say is when you put on shoes, it tells your mind that you're going somewhere or you have to do something, so it puts you in like a productive mood. So if you still don't feel productive when you get dressed, maybe try putting some shoes on. Make sure you go to bed at the right time. If you're staying up till 1 a.m., obviously you're not going to have a good night's sleep and you're not going to get a lot of work done the next day. So make sure you go to bed at the right time. And if you're that sort of person that will just scroll on their phone till 1 a.m. and that's the reason why, I would recommend putting an alarm on your phone that will go off and remind you to go to bed. Here are 3 things that are really important to do in your night routine. Number 1 is to set out your clothes for the next day, because if you're like me and you take literally hours to pick an outfit, then this is super helpful, because for some reason you can pick outfits faster at night and then in the morning you just grab it and put it on. Next tip is for all of you people who never have time to make breakfast in the morning, or you're just not a breakfast person. We've heard so many times that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So one thing you can do at nighttime is actually make your breakfast for the next day, and that way you can just grab it and go. Some ideas to make overnight are overnight oat, chia bowls, parfaits, and if you just don't have time to actually make it, one thing you can do is have a smoothie, and you can just pre-chop all of the fruits the night before, and all you have to do in the morning is blend it up. The last tip is get your necessities ready the night before, because honestly there's so many times where I forget to get some, so I actually have to go to a different room to do my schoolwork, so I personally like to set them by the door. Okay, so now that I give you all the tips for things to do before school starts, now we're going to move on to the next section. Things to do when you're starting the school day. The first tip is to have a distinct workspace or location. This just tells yourself that here's where I'm working. I know a lot of times it will be very tempting to just not get out of bed and do school on your bed, but trust me, that doesn't work. Also, make sure your workspace is clean and organized, because a clean and organized workspace is a clean and organized mind. The next tip is to have everything with you. I know so many times, at least for me, I literally sit down and be like, oh wait, now I have to go get water, now I have to go get a snack. So one thing you can do before you start school in the morning is just grab your water and grab your snacks, so that way when you get hungry or you get thirsty, you can just have them right there and you won't have to get up. Tip number 3 is to have all distractions away, and I mean literally all distractions. A lot of people say to put your phone in a different room, but for me personally, I do need it for school sometimes. What I like to do is I just put it on silent, or I put it on airplane mode so I don't get text messages. Tip number 4 is to make a to-do list. This is something I do every single morning. So lately I've been just writing them on a piece of paper, but if you have a journal or like a planner, you can write it in there as well. Okay, now it's time to actually start school. I have all my daily necessities, I have all of the stuff ready. Now what? Now it's time for me to give you the tips for when you're doing school. Tip number 1 for this section is music, music, music. Music is something that has changed my game for school, because my first 3 weeks of online school, I did not listen to music. I think I listened to music the first day I did it, and the first day I had online school, I finished school right away. But after that, I didn't listen to music, and it would literally take me all day to do school. Now, this week, I recently started listening to music again, and literally, I don't even know why it does this, but when I listen to my, lo-fi music, it just makes me feel more productive. I promise you, if you're having trouble, being productive, music is so helpful. Do not listen to music with words in it. So what I would recommend to listen to is either classical music or lo-fi music. The next tip is to write down questions you have. So many times I'll be learning my lesson, and all of a sudden I'll get a question, and the first thing I do is write it down, because I will forget it. I'm a very forgetful person. So I'll just write all my questions, so that way when I have a Zoom or some time of thing with my teacher, then I can just ask them and they will tell me it, and then I can figure out the answer. The next tip is to use the Pomodoro method. You've probably heard of the Pomodoro method, but if you haven't, it's basically where you do work for 25 minutes and take a break for 5 minutes. But you probably don't know, you can also do 45 minutes of work and a 15-minute break. Recently, I got the app called Forest. You probably have heard of it, but you've never probably downloaded it because it does cost money. There actually is a free version, and it's literally so helpful. If you don't know what Forest is, it's basically this app where you set the amount of time where you want to work, and during that time you cannot X out of that app or else your tree will die. So it's really fun because you can pick your tree, and you can, after a while, you grow a forest of all your trees that you worked. It's actually only $1.99 in the App Store, so it's not that bad. My very last tip is to record your live lessons or your Zooms, because a lot of times, especially if your teachers are teaching something on this Zoom or your live call or whatever, then it's really important to remember And sometimes the teachers are actually recording anyway, so if they're recording, then it's okay. But if your teachers aren't recording during your lessons, you can just get your phone and you can just put it on voice memo and have the audio from the Zoom just go onto your phone. So that was it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I say this for literally every single video, but I actually had so much fun filming this video. I hope that everyone is safe and doing well, and I hope this video was helpful. If it was helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe and hit the notifications so you can get notified whenever I post, because I have so many fun videos coming out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!